All right, so today's mission is actually to spend grant money that we received from UD, from Horn Entrepreneurship. We actually received a grant for $5,000. So I am really excited. Today's mission is just to like spend all of it. I had to kind of wait until now because a couple of the budget items were up in the air. We were trying to figure out how much to spend on fabric versus other things. I also couldn't spend it all on my credit card because my credit card has a limit. So I'm gonna have to have my mom help me out and purchase a lot of the supplies. So I'm so excited. My dad is going to Fab Scrap today and he's gonna get a ton of fabric for us to use in prototyping. We have so many new products that we want to make. So yeah, today's mission is to just buy as much as we can with that grant. For events, we're going to be purchasing displays so that people can know and understand what we're doing instead of just these handmade posters that I've made. And we're gonna have like a really nice tablecloth, and I'm so excited. Yeah, that is like the main mission for today. We also have 2 meetings later today with team members for Upcycle, and I want to get a bunch of emails done as well today. So the mission is just a lot of work. I have from now, which is about noon, until 5 tonight to get work done. So let's get started and get this ish done. Let's do it. All right, so I'm getting a ton of work done, which is really exciting. Something I just did was total up all the donations from our events over the weekend. So we had 2 events. On Saturday, my dad sold at Next Fab. They had a Sustain Your Neighborhood event, which was focused on sustainable vendors, and it was really fun. And then on Sunday, we had an event called Shed Fest, which was the 2nd annual, and that was a really big success. It was outside, it was a beautiful day. So we went from, only a couple weeks ago, passing the $500 milestone, raising money for nonprofits, and we are now at $666. Wow, that is so incredibly exciting. A new product we had this weekend, I'll insert a picture here, was actually a shad pillow. So the event was the Shad Fest, which is for the shad fish. And so we made this pillow and we donated $10 from each pillow that we sold. And so that's also really exciting to see that number going up with our other products as well. And so yeah, it's just been really cool to see kind of our impact numbers grow. And yeah, I'm just feeling really excited about the impact that we're having as we go along. So yeah, super cool and exciting. All right, I'm gonna get back to work, but I just wanted to share because that is like a huge milestone. So we'll keep it up. So I just finished reading a book by Ryan Holiday. This is a kid's book, but it's a book for all ages. It's called The Boy Who Would Be King. And it's about Marcus Aurelius and his journey. He originally did not want to be emperor of Rome, and then he became the greatest emperor of all time. And it's such a cool book. This is my favorite page. It says, "Moderation in all things, Rusticus told Marcus, and remember, some things not at all." I love that so much because I am a big believer in balance and balancing out even the good stuff. And so I love that quote a lot. And I just love this story and the lessons from the fable, because they talk about at the end how we're all basically given a gift, and you can accept the gift or you can reject the gift, but it's better to accept it, obviously. I love this because it says, "The story of Marcus Aurelius is the story of all of us. Destiny selects each person for something. Will we choose to accept it? Will we choose to become the person we're meant to be? This is the question." I love that so much. It just really makes you think deeper about that, about originally he didn't want to be emperor, and then he said, actually, this is a gift, and it's the greatest gift of all time, and he made it into something beautiful. And we can all do that, and I think the Stoic lessons in here are amazing. I'm actually going to give this to my dad for Father's Day, and I would love for him someday to read this to my future children. And so, yeah. It's a really cool story. Really highly recommend. All ages, I think, would enjoy this, but especially for the kids in your life, I think this is a really cool book. I got a huge amount of books in from the Painted Porch. I'm so excited. That's Ryan Holiday's bookstore in Bastrop, Texas, and let me actually show you them because I'm so excited. Okay, so the other ones I've got here are Homebody. I'm so excited. I never know how to pronounce her name, Rupi. I read her first book, Milk and Honey, at the beginning of this year, and I absolutely loved it. I love her poetry so much. I follow her on Instagram and I just am inspired all the time by her. So really excited to read her next book. And then I got a ton of philosophy books. So I got Epicurus's The Art of Happiness, which was recommended by Ryan Holiday. So I'm really excited to read that more. I got from Seneca, Letters from a Stoic. So I'm really excited to dive more into that because a lot of Ryan Holiday's works reference all four of these books that I'm going to tell you about. Epictetus, Discourse and Selected Writings. Really excited for this one. He was a slave actually in ancient Roman times, and he just was so wise, and yeah, really excited for this one. And then the last one is actually called Buddha, and this was another book that was recommended by Ryan Holiday. He has this whole reading list. He reads like hundreds of books a year. And so I'm really excited to read this book too. So yeah, a lot of like deeper readings that I'm gonna be doing, but I'm excited to dive in. I'm at 55 books this year that I've read so far. So we are excited to keep reading and keep moving along with our mission to read 100 books this year. So I think we can do it. I have high hopes. That is so creepy. I just realized that my fan is in the background and it looks really weird. I'm scared. Like an alien. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna get back to work, but I did have a little reading break there where I broke out a bunch of books because our team won first place at the beginning of this year in, what was it called? Pitch and Switch? I don't know, it was like an environmental pitch competition, and we won $250, so I spent all the money on books. So I'm really grateful for that, to further my own education and broaden my mindset, learn new things. Yeah, super cool. So all right, let's get back to work now that I've had a reading break. All right, I am currently working on practicing my TED Talk. I'm still making changes and still making final edits and stuff, but I think the kind of borderline, the foundational ideas are there, and it's all coming together really well. So I'm working on it. I'm really excited to practice and make the final edit. So here we go. So I was just doing a little bit of research on some other material that I wanted to potentially include in my TED Talk. So one of them was a past talk that I had written about post-traumatic growth and sharing my story in a similar way with a slightly different focus. It's pretty much all post-traumatic growth. That's only one of the things that I mention in my talk now. And then I also wrote a graduation speech in high school called From Survivor to Thriver, and I gave it at my high school graduation. I was homeschooled, but I was part of this Pennsylvania homeschool organization, and there were like hundreds of people at my graduation, and I gave this speech. And I remember, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I remember tearing up and being very emotional as I gave this speech in front of hundreds of people who didn't know me. Only my parents were there who knew me from all across the state of Pennsylvania. And I talked about getting Lyme disease and just surviving it at first, just barely getting through. I had to do my sophomore year in high school over 2 years. I almost quit my nonprofit at one point just because school was so difficult. I didn't think I was gonna be able to graduate high school, let alone get into college and go to a college and thrive. And so, sorry. I mean, I had a panic attack at every single college I visited because I was like, I don't think I can do this. Then I talk at the end about how I'm now thriving. And one of the greatest accomplishments so far has been graduating high school. One second, my dad's calling. Okay, I'm back. My dad was calling because he's at Fat Scrap, so I had to take the call because it was for off cycle. I don't even remember where I was. But I went then from just surviving to thriving and being able to graduate. And I talked about, like, if there's one thing that you take away from my speech today, and this is my exact words, I hope that as even with setbacks and challenges, big or small, you can accomplish the goals you want to achieve. I went from merely surviving Lyme disease to thriving. My goal is to change the world and positively impact as many lives as possible, and I will follow that dream with all of my energy, what little I have of it. Homeschooling has given me the flexibility I need to complete my goal of graduating high school and help me foster a love for self-learning and help to build my self-motivation to accomplish goals. And then I say, I would like to end with my favorite quote by John F. Kennedy. one person can change the world and everyone should try. It brings up so many emotions to read this talk again from like 6 years ago. I don't even know, it's been so long. And what I was thinking then and what I'm thinking now. And in writing this TED talk, reading this kind of to see like, are there any other things that I want to talk about that I talked about in some of these other talks? And it's just very like emotional and really exciting to continuing to pursue my dreams and to be, you know, successful because I'm happy and I'm able to pursue stuff. And I'm giving a TEDx talk, for crying out loud. Like, that is so cool. So it's just, it's incredible. It's really, really incredible. All right, I'm gonna stop being so mushy. I'm gonna get back to work, but yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm just grateful for everything and for the gift that my challenges have given me and that I've been able to thrive with. So, all right, let's get back to working on this talk.